Merry meet Leo. Leo, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all Leos starting today, the 22nd of January, 2025. This is Ariel Gatoga, and I am today reading with the Tarot Noir, and I've already purified with this Florida water. And you can find links to purchase each of these products right in the video description of this video here on YouTube. Let's see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Leos today. Starting off with the 8 of Wands, followed by the 3 of Wands, and then we have the 10 of Swords. So it's kind of wandy, and that's work and passion, your work in the world, things that you're passionate about. Now it can be your job, just your 9-to-5 job, but it can also be your career. It can be a business. It can be a creative project. It can be anything that, that the wands represent for you. And it says you're doing good work right now and that the good work is going to pay off. It also says that things have kind of come into focus and a lot of things have ended recently. And that's a good thing because it's giving you a clear focus as to, what to do. And really being focused right now on your work is very important. It's much more important than allowing whatever the conflict that this 10 represents to be part of the picture. Now, sometimes it's very challenging to avoid conflict altogether, but what you can do is avoid your reaction to the conflict. And I know that's easier said than done, but really what you're being asked to do is to shift when you feel conflict around you, is to shift your focus from that and back onto the work that you're doing. Now, if conflict can't be avoided, you want to make sure that you don't keep it alive. That if there is no way to avoid it, that you get through it and that you don't do anything on your part to keep it alive. Let me open this up a bit and see. Ooh, nice. Ace of Coins. Nice. 4 of Coins. And then this 9 of Cups. Okay, good. So the conflict that seems to be sort of a possibility for you today is something that it may look like it's happening to you. And it may look like you have absolutely nothing to do with it. But you do. Because your ego wants to use it so that you don't receive the blessings of this next couple weeks. And it may not be today, sometime over the next couple weeks. So it's really important that you learn how to navigate this and recognize that even though your ego is really going to convince you that it has absolutely nothing to do with you, you had nothing to do with it, you have to take full responsibility for it anyway. I know that sounds harsh. I'm not saying that you cause it when it happens. I'm not saying that you're to blame, but I do want you to take responsibility for your response to it, how you react to it completely. Just assume that, just like if you were let's say that your job was being a daycare professional and some of the toddlers got in a big tussle, you would just take care of it. You wouldn't get involved in it. You wouldn't fight with them. You wouldn't take it personally, right? So everybody with whom you may be coming into conflict with, treat them like they are toddlers and don't take it personally. Don't put any energy into it because that's the ego trying to get you not to have this 9 of Cups experience. The 9 of Cups is you drawing to you all the resources necessary for you to expand into this work. And that includes the finances. There's a lot of financial good news here and ability and opportunity, I should say, to expand on your finances, to really expand them and to really get things into order. And the more you get things in the physical world in order, including your finances, the more you're giving a structure to that expansion. So this 3 of Wands and this 4 of Coins is an extremely powerful combination for success. And as is this Ace of Coins, as is this 9 of Cups. So you're poised to succeed. You're poised to win. You're poised to really expand and grow on whatever is important to you. Excuse me. So, of course, that's when the ego gets awakened, because the ego's job is to self-destruct. And we all have those self-destructive tendencies. And the way that self-destructive tendency is going to want to try to appear in order to put the kibosh on all this good stuff is through conflict, And just remember that when people come to you with conflict, that's their conflict. It's not yours. Don't own it. When you decide that you want to have conflict with other people because they're pissing you off or making you mad or whatever it is, remind yourself that's also not yours. That's your ego's. It has nothing to do with you, and that you want nothing to do with it. It's just toddlers at a daycare. They'll sort it out. Has nothing to do with you. Let it pass you by as much as possible so that you can focus back again on getting things in order, getting your work done, getting yourself to be the magnet for all the resources that are your divine right. But you can't have the magnet activated and be in conflict at the same time, because the conflict is tense, and that tension squelches the magnetism. So when you notice that you're in conflict, just remind yourself, I'm not being magnetic to my good now. So if that's really what I want, and I'm willing to turn off all of the drawing to myself of all of my resources that I want, okay, then I can be involved in this. But if I want to succeed, and if I really want all of these resources to come to me, I need to let go of this conflict. I need to not participate in it. I need to find that peace. Now remember that things have come to an end recently. A lot of things have come to a close. Some things have ended. And since that's still there, you can let these conflicts end just as easily, whatever they are. Once you recognize they have nothing to do with me, they'll just fall away. But when you start owning it, there's a double whammy there. Because on one hand, if you start owning the conflict, then it is yours. And then you have to keep going with it. So it's, for one thing, it's not fun. And for another thing, like I said before, is then you're putting all of your drawing to you of your good on hold. You're delaying your progress. All of this wonderful progress that you've been making, you're putting it on hold. So just remind yourself of that when conflicts come up, because they're inevitable. They're always going to come up anyway. So it's not that this is predicting specific conflicts. It's just that as conflicts come up, which they will, because we live in this world, you don't get into them. You don't own them. You recognize those aren't mine. This conflict does not belong to me. I'm giving it back. And I'm focusing again on my work, on my magnetism, on my peace of mind, on my prosperity. I'm getting things in order. I'd much rather clean out this closet than have a fight. I'd much rather, get my desk in order than to have a conflict. Because when I get my desk in order, that's micro magic. What that does is it's a small little thing that I can do to invoke Jupiter, because then that's going to have an effect on a large scale. That's what this Four of Coins can give you, is what I call household magic. But it doesn't only have to be in the house. It can be in your office or wherever, your car. Wherever there's a mess, if you clean it up and dedicate it to your success, that little bit of getting things in order puts a big Jupiter energy into motion for you, to bring you more good, to bring you more wealth, to bring you more success. And so that's where you want to get your focus, is getting things in order where they're out of order, not getting pulled into this stuff. Whether you're the one that's mad or having the conflict, or somebody else is mad and having the conflict, either way, it's not yours. It might look like yours, especially if you kind of come up with it, but just remember, you didn't come up with it, your ego did. That's nothing but a habit pattern that is there to try to self-sabotage. And once you realize that, and you say, this doesn't belong to me, the only thing that belongs to me is my success. The only thing that belongs to me is my ability to increase my good. And I'm going to get focused and busy and work on what I want, and not allow these conflicts to derail me, which is the only thing they're designed to do. It may look like it's a really important conflict. It may really look like, oh no, I really have to address this. I really have to get involved in this. But it's not. It's only there to pull you off your base. And when you realize that, you're not going to want to do it. Now, that's not to say that you're just going to ignore everybody. But again, it's toddlers having a conflict. It has nothing to do with you. You're not going to get all into it. If you have to separate them, fine, but you're not gonna sit with resentment over it. You're not gonna think too much about it. It's just gonna be gone. Just let it pass. And in the midst of it, remind yourself, this will pass. This is passing away now, so that I can get back to work, because I've got so much success that's waiting to come to me. And I'm so magnetic to my success right now that the faster that I resolve this, the faster I get back to peace, the more magnetic I am. And I'm not going to let this derail me. Right? So good. Yay. It's a very successful couple weeks for you. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. We will see you in a couple weeks for another reading, Leo. Until then, blessed be.